All right, guys, ask a Felon back with another one for you. Jump right into the questions. What was the dumbest decision that I made that had huge consequences? Well, I'm going to have to say that would be, like I brought up in one of my last videos, have to be when I was so worried about misdemeanors that I let them snowball into felonies. Because I was so scared of the misdemeanors that I went and committed a felony to try to pay off the misdemeanors. And that just, all it did was get me two Class B felonies. So that's probably one of the biggest. That's probably one of many dumbass choices I've made. But it had the biggest change in my life because that led to me being on the run, which being on the run led me to have nothing to look forward to but going to prison. So therefore, I lived recklessly and carelessly by shooting up, doing drugs, and not giving a shit, never being able to make long-term plans, just skinning by day by day for 5 years. So I'd have to say it was committing a felony to try to take care of misdemeanor crimes. Was the moment you knew you hit rock bottom? I've hit rock bottom several times, but one of the last times I noticed, one of the last times a feeling that sticks with me was when me and my wife was splitting up during the summer, and it was my birthday, but I'd been living at a park. She came and seen me for my birthday and left me at that park knowing I was homeless and that I had absolutely nowhere to stay. I didn't even have a phone to contact people. And to watch her and the kids pull away, it was a pretty empty feeling. It was like that right there hit pretty fucking hard. So, but there's been many other times I've hit rock bottom before that and after that. So that's just one time that I know right off the bat that made me feel. That's probably the loneliest I've felt in my, not my life, but in a very long time. What's something I learned too late? That it's not hard to live right. Like I said in another video, a judge said that to me one time. He gave me chance after chance after chance after chance. And he told me once, it's not that hard to live right. And it's crazy because that's a simple saying. And it's the simplest words I've ever heard about life. And it's not. It's not that hard to live right. If you really think about it, if you ain't out here doing drugs and committing crimes, it's not that hard to live your life. So I wish I would have realized all this stuff earlier. And another thing I say, and I've been saying it a lot, nothing changes if nothing changes. I learned that in prison and my group therapy shit. Nothing changes if nothing changes. And it's not that hard to live life right. It really ain't. I wish I would have learned it a lot earlier in life because now I'm 42 years old and I feel like I'm behind in life, but I'm old. What's the biggest difference between being alone and being lonely? There's a huge difference in being alone and being lonely. When you're alone, you're just by yourself. When you're lonely, you can be around a room full of people and be lonely. I felt both of them feelings many times, like I just mentioned. I was probably the most alone I ever felt in my life when I was at a park with no phone, no communication, nothing but a backpack with a little bit of food in it and some broken phones. And I watched my wife and the kids pull away. That was probably the loneliest feeling in the world, especially the way it was. The sun was setting, it was getting dark out, and it was like, man, I felt cut off from the world, especially being out there for a week or so with no phone, not being able to talk to nobody. So there's a big difference between being alone and lonely. You can be lonely in a room full of people. I've felt that feeling many times. What's the hardest part of trying to earn trust back? Well, for me, it's getting the chance to prove that they trust you again. You know what I mean? Once you've broke that trust, it's so hard to try to even get a chance to prove you're trustworthy again. If you understand what I'm trying to say, I hope I'm making it sound right because in my head, and once you've broke somebody's trust, they might forgive you, but they don't forget. So they're always going to be on the lookout and be weary of trusting you again. So you don't really get the chance to show them that they can trust you again. But what's something your past taught you about loyalty? That loyalty is everything. I don't care if it's loyalty to a friend, if it's loyalty to your family, if it's loyalty to your wife, your husband. Loyalty goes far. I'll tell you that right now. Loyalty, when you know somebody's there, got your back when you ain't around, That means a lot right there. So yeah, the strangest place I ever found peace, that had to be at when I was homeless at the park. Even though it was a lonely feeling, it was peace. Like I had nothing but time. Like I said, I didn't have a phone or anything to keep me busy, keep my mind occupied. I had nothing but time to sit there and think, why am I at this park alone? Like I have many times when I wound up, I got a story about that, but I ended up flipping out and taking off to Ohio, walking from Indiana to Ohio, and I'll get into that in another story when once I'm got a bigger audience. I'm saving my real big good stories for once my audience gets bigger. I'm just trying to ease into this and answer questions here and there for people, but that was the strangest place I found peace. It was loneliness, but it was peace. Had time to be in my head and sit and think about everything. If I could erase one bad habit, what would it be? Thinking negative. Right off the bat, if I could just stop thinking negative, I'd probably be 100% better off. But when you've always had the worst happen, no matter how much you try to make the outcome different, and it's always the worst that happens, learn everything the hard way. It's nobody's fault but my own. I know that. But that would be the habit that I would lose. That'd be the habit that I'd get rid of 100% because I've always had negative thinking. I always think the worst of everything, or I expect the worst of everything. Did I ever have a feeling something was bad was about to happen and it did? Yeah. I usually before I know I'm about to go to jail, I'll get a whiff of jail. Anybody who's ever been in jail and been in a drunk tank, there's a certain smell that only comes from jail. And the last few times I've got arrested, I knew beforehand that it was going to happen because I got a whiff of jail. So yes, I have had that happen, and it's crazy because it always flips me out, but it's usually right because whenever I get that smell, it'll hit me out of nowhere. Somewhere it'll be in public, it can be at the house, it can be just comes from nowhere, and it's like, yep, something bad's about to happen. I've had it happen with everything besides jail too. Just knowing something bad's gonna happen. I got some. My instincts are they're crazy. Sometimes they scare me how on point they can be. But with that being said, that's all I got for this one, guys. Make sure you hit that like, comment, subscribe. I need to get my viewers up. So I've been posting police videos, police dash cam, body cam videos, trying to get my viewers up so I can get into some of these good stories that I'm holding off on until my audience gets bigger. But I'll get there eventually. Till then, I'll keep answering these questions. But till the next one, see ya.